today talking about establishing. I've gotten really good at that, by the way.
Yes, that was well done.
I just
I can't
rolls
keep
off
it
the tip
straight,
of my
so well
tongue.
done.
Establishing proper goals is today's episode 35. Talking about when we establish proper goals, we first have to understand what type of a player that person we're trying to emulate, or what type of player we're trying to be, who they are, what their attributes are, right? So it could be anything from what? Hitter, pitcher, catcher, outfielder, first baseman, right? Any athlete, you have to understand what that athlete is, what their ceiling is to actually get there, right?
Yeah, I think, there's a reason, some people have a goal and they say, well, I want to go win a national championship. I want to be an All-American. I want to be that person playing in the area code games. I want to be the person recruited by top 5 schools. So it's like whatever, I want to be that type of person. Then you come back and say, okay, what are the attributes of that type of person? What are the attributes of a national champion, of an elite hitter, of a dominant pitcher, of a consistent athlete? And you know what? Maybe you do it athletically and academically. Maybe you have a different goal academically and you say, well, I want to be a 4.0 student. Well, great. What are these habits of a 4.0 student? What are the attributes? Is it just that they're just smart, or is their work ethic there? Are they doing homework every night? Are these hitters you want to emulate? You ask yourself, like, what are they doing? Are they journaling? Are they working out? Are they just training on their own? Or are they working with a professional and a coach? So I think that's really important to try to really describe in detail. Okay, cool. I'm glad you want to be there, but let's describe what that looks like, to get very specific.
Athletes don't often do this when they're trying to establish their goals or understand who they are as an athlete or who they're trying to become. They never write down what their current attributes are, ever. It never seems like, unless they have a good coach like yourself, right, that tells them to do it, they oftentimes don't really do it, and they don't understand what their strengths and their weaknesses are.
Yeah, I think self-awareness is so key because, and maybe you need help with it. And that is a part of being self-aware, that you realize, like, hey, I need help on identifying where I'm currently at. Because once you get, we can stick with hitting as the example. I want to be an elite hitter going to a top 25 college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, cool, what are those attributes? And then you look at yourself and you say, well, where are my attributes at?
Yeah.
If an elite hitter journals every day after they hit, where am I at? And it's like, I never journal. And it's like, well, an elite hitter trains in the weight room 6 days a week. Cool. I train in the weight room 4 days a week. You know what I mean? So you go back and forth and you try to see, where am I close? Because if anything, that should provide some confidence, where it's like, hey, I have some attributes that I feel I align on, and I have some that I feel like I'm very far away on. And I think the biggest thing for most humans is just consistency, right? They can do those things some of the time or part of the time, but not all of the time, right? They can go to the gym most of the time, but not all the time. They can journal some of the time, but not all the time. So you're essentially trying to look and see, where are you far off? And then once you do that, you can really identify, well, this must be the most important thing because I'm furthest off on this. And then I think that's when the true work starts to come in. We talked about goals kind of just hang around and float until you create an actual roadmap for yourself. And now once you can identify, okay, this is exactly how I'm going to get there, that should be exciting. You now have specific things you feel like you need to work on in order to become that elite version of yourself.